All right, so this is part two to the dimensional analysis lecture. All right, so now we're just gonna add the same piece, but typically in America we use what they call the U.S. customary um, measurement system, and everybody else in the world, for the most part, uses the metric system. So if you go overseas, outside of the United States or its territories, typically you will see units, um, liters, grams, and meters. Okay, whereas in America we use feet, pounds, and fluid ounces, and then cups, so on and so forth. All right, so I'm not going to read you all of that. Let me show you this next slide. All right, so in the metric system, it's based on powers of 10 or base 10. All right, so down here measuring, all right, grams. Let's say that's your 1 unit. Okay, and then when you add decimals, to the right, like decigram, which is point or a tenth of a gram, centigram. All right, that's 1/100th of a gram. A milligram, okay, is 1,000th of a gram. And then on the other side, typically you don't hear decagrams, because again, in the United States we don't use uh, the metric system a whole lot. Hectograms, kilograms, so on and so forth. All right, so and these words, kilo, centi, hecta, deca, all that's telling you factors of 10. All right, so let's look at this real simple example just to kind of get us started. So you've got the Summer Olympics, and let's say you've got athletes competing in typically the running events: 100 meter, 200, 400, 800, 1500, 5,000, and 10,000 meters. All right. If somebody was to run all these races, now that's strange, because you got some of this is short distance, and then you got a lot of long distance, and then you got a few intermediate races. So you typically won't have an athlete that does all this, but that's neither here nor there. This is just a quick example to show you how to convert to kilometers. So all you do, everything here is in meters, right? Meters, meters, meters. Okay, no problem. So what we're going to do is just going to add up all the numbers. So, take your calculator: 100, 200, 400, 800, 1500, 5,000, and then you got 10,000. All right, so let's put this together. That's 300. This is 1,200. This is 6,500, and we're going to bring down that 10,000. Okay, put these two together. The 300 and 1,200 make 1,500. All right, put those together. 1,500 plus 6,500, that's 8,000, plus 10,000, that's 18,000 meters. Okay, but we don't want meters. We want kilometers. All right, so no problem. You take your 18,000 meters. You're going to use your conversion factor. Well, I know that one. Now, some people say kilometer, some people say kilometer. Okay, is 1,000 meters. Again, the units I want to cancel. They should be on the diagonal. All right, they cancel out. And you take that 18,000, you're going to divide it by 1,000, and you end up with 18 kilometers. Now, some people may say kilometers, but again, words are used interchangeably, or the pronunciation. Okay, but the units are still the same. All right, real simple example. All right, so now we can convert between what we call the U.S. customary system and the metric system. Now, I want to pause here and just say, be careful with your conversions, because if you look at these decimals, right, these decimal places, all right, most of these conversion factors, you got maybe 4 decimal places. So just be careful, and don't piecemeal. All right. So if you're gonna use that conversion factor, just carry your calculations all the way out, and then round. Do not round up these conversion factors, because your answers will be off. And I mean, there is a little bit of tolerance in the software in the homework package potentially for answers, but just be careful here. All right, so this is an example where this patient needs to go up on the anesthesia, and the anesthesiologist wants the weight in kilograms. Okay, so what is the patient's weight in kilograms? All right, so I know that this patient, and again, if you mess up this in real life context, people die. So that's what I'm saying. Just don't take your time. So 205 pound kilogram person, okay, and I'm sorry, 205 pound person, not kilogram person, and we want the weight in kilograms. So we know that 1 pound, I believe, 1 pound. Now you just go back and you look at that conversion. All right, so mass, we know we're going to use 0.4536, okay? So let me erase, and we're going to say 0.4536 kilograms, okay? Now, again, you could type it into Google, and Google's going to be close, but again, their answer may be a little bit smaller because they're going to use more decimal places. So, but they say round the answer to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so our answer needs to have 2 decimal places. So you take your calculator, make sure before you even touch that calculator that your units that you're trying to cancel out are on diagonal, so they cancel. So our final answer will be in kilograms. So take 205, we're going to multiply it by 0.4536. All right, so now the answer that I got was, or is, 92 point. Now I've got 988, but we're rounding up, so it'd be 92.99 kilograms. Okay, and again, if you use something, another tool, or you just type it in, like I did a Google search, the Google search will give you a little bit more details, but it should round up, all right, to 2 decimal places. The answer should be similar. All right, so now unit rates, or same exact principle that we've been using. It's just you can take different units, which a rate is a ratio of 2 quantities. All right, and then the unit rate is essentially you're getting it down to where the denominator is 1. That's why you got the word unit. Okay, all right, that's why you want that denominator to be 1. All right, so let's think about a car. You get in a car, you drive 300 miles, and it's a 15-gallon tank. So it's probably a mid-size sedan, okay? All right, so what you do, you take your 300 miles, and we want to find the unit rate. Now, let's be careful because I didn't even read the problem. I told you that you can drive 300 miles on a tank of 15 gallons. It says express this as a rate and as a unit rate, okay? And as a unit rate. So 2 answers. We've got the rate, so we're going to split this up, and we've got a unit rate. All right, so the rate is 300 miles over 15 gallons, okay? That's the rate. All right. Now, some people may say simplify it, but it's the ratio. So you could potentially simplify this rate. Um, the issue, and it's going to still be correct, is that 300 is divisible by 15. So if, let's say we broke this down. Well, let's come over here and we'll do the unit rate. All right. So you take your 300, okay? You divide by, and we're going to say miles per gallon. Miles per 15 gallons. All right, we're going to break that down. So we divide and we end up with 20 miles per gallon. Okay, that's our unit rate, and it just so happens that when we simplify the rate, it'll still be 20 miles per gallon. All right, so let me just do an aside. Let's say the car had instead of 15, let's say 17. So you can see that rate. So you'll have 300 over 17 miles per gallon, right? Because the 17 is a prime number. That won't simplify. Okay, so you can do it like that. And then your unit rate, you want a decimal. So 300 divided by 17. All right. And let's say if 17 gallons, the rate would be 300 over 17 gallons. The unit rate, and we would probably express this as a decimal, would be 17.6 miles per gallon. Okay. All right. So that's your, or MPG. They may say it that way as well. That's probably how it would be stated. All right. So you got the rate, and you try to always simplify the rate if possible. And then you're gonna have the unit rate. Okay. And sometimes it's just gonna work out where if those numbers are multiples of one another, it may break down to where that rate and unit rate are identical. All right, and then this last one. All right, so now you stay in Arizona. Let's say you're in Arizona. Let's say we stay in Arizona. The cost of gas is $2.05 per gallon. Okay, if you go across the border into Mexico, gas, the cost is 14.81 pesos per liter. And then the question is, where is gas more expensive? All right, and so then we got a currency conversion factor. So let's underline all our units, and then we've got a conversion factor, okay, of $1 is equal to 18.68 pesos. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to write all this out in one fell swoop. So let's go from $2.05 per gallon. All right, now we need to get this down to, we need to compare these prices. We need to go from dollars per gallon to pesos per liter. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to multiply. All right, we need to get out of a gallon. So we got to say, okay, well, 1 gallon. Oops, I'm in the wrong spot. It's in the wrong spot. All right, so 1 gallon. And now notice this time the gallons in the numerator. All right, and let's go back and see. So go back to your conversion table real quick. All right, 1 gallon is 3.785 liters, okay? So 1 gallon is 3.785 liters, okay? All right, so now the gallons will cancel, all right? But instead of us kind of piecemealing, because we got a lot of decimals flowing around, we're going to do this in one line. All right, so now that's going to give you dollars per liter, but we actually need pesos per liter, so we can actually compare Arizona. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get Arizona, or the Arizona gas price we're going to convert that to pesos per liter. So we've got the liters. Okay, so now we need to get pesos per liter. So we need another conversion factor. All right, so I know that $1, so let's say $1 is 18.68 pesos. Oops. Pesos. All right, so my dollar, my units here, my dollars will cancel. All right, so dollars canceled. Gallons, they canceled. And so you say, okay, now I will be left with, I will have pesos in my numerator. I will have liters in my denominator. So that'll convert that Arizona gas price to pesos per liter. All right, so take your calculator. You're going to take 2.05 times 18.68. And go ahead and put your pesos. And I'm going to divide that by 3.785 liters. All right, so we take our calculator. We're going to do 2.05 times 18.68. All right, and we're going to divide by 3.785. And we should end up with 10. We're going to go 2 decimal places. 10.12 pesos per liter. All right. Now, that's the conversion. So Arizona's gas price in pesos per liter is 10. Did I tell y'all wrong? Hold on, let me make sure. Well, 10.12. Yeah, 10.12 pesos per liter. Now you compare that to the price in Mexico, so that we can actually answer this question. All right, because the question was, where is gas more expensive? All right, so you just compare units to units. All right, that's why you do unit analysis. So we know that the gas is more expensive in Mexico. Okay. All right, and so that's it. That's the end of this lecture. That's how you use the metric system, and you convert in between the U.S. customary system and the metric system. All right, homework should be very straightforward. Any questions, just reach out.